it's sort of Schweitzer's line of reverence for life. And that unites, in a sense, all religious traditions, doesn't it? And people, really, when we recognize our reverence for life, I mean, to put it in that way, a kind of a yes, that we say yes to life in all its forms. So then what brings life to cities, to towns, to families, to countrysides? What is it, you know? And one of the ways that I found was through beauty. And we often spoke about it and explored what beauty was in different cultures. Ecologists have said that when an ecosystem is damaged and begins to be degraded, the first thing that goes is beauty. And we can notice it by that.
That's probably true.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we can begin to track what's happening to our world. And in a way, beauty is something, obviously, we could spend a long time talking about it and defining it, but we have an innate, an intuitive sense of beauty. And if we can, as individuals and in communities, promote, cultivate beauty, life comes back. And in a way, it asks us this reverence for life.
As you talk about in your literature about the open path, and I guess this is the open path. It's open to people from different traditions. Find what you have in common for a higher aim. Is that basically right?
Yeah, the open path is a way of describing what I consider a contemporary approach to Sufism, because Sufism in itself, in its best, as I understand it, is a universal, totally inclusive style of awakening and realization and living. So inclusive in the sense that we can pray at any church or mosque or synagogue or temple, that all of these forms are a delight, ways of celebrating, for example. And another quality of the open path is, besides its inclusivity, is it's experiential. That is, and when I say open path, it's the name that I give to the trainings and the teachings that I do now. That rather than getting too much involved with thought processes and working it out and categorizing reality according to a schema or a doctrine, the dedication is to direct experience, to be a scientist of our own empirical moment now. So that at a certain point, all of our thoughts about what is true, as we've been discussing, we put those down. And direct experience is the teacher. This moment is the teacher.
What's your direct experience now?
Sitting here talking together, a sense of I realize that it's a beautiful question, and any word that I'm tempted to put on it slides off. It slides off from being exactly true. I'm forced, so I want to preface what I say with, I'm forced to lie a little bit. Words lie. They can't help it. So if I were to say my direct experience right now is peace, and I feel that speaking with you and sharing our glance as we are now, there's a peace, an ease. But these words, peace and ease, are again ideas, aren't they? So how could we describe this that is our common moment? And I would imagine people Now, the idea that people one day will be watching this conversation, listening to this conversation, part of it, sharing with us this moment. Can we use words that, is there this peace and ease, this relax in the present moment that is my direct experience? Perhaps it's shared with everyone who is present to this conversation.
Can you give a few pointers to people that are maybe watching this program and want to feel their direct experience now?
You know, there are two ways to maybe describe peace. Or one being, all right, we can calm our environment down, our outer environment, our mental environment. We can meditate. We can use different supports for encouraging tranquility and serenity. But this is sort of making a context. These help. They do help. But they're not the peace that I'm referring to. They're sort of, it's really not even necessary to stop our thoughts in order to recognize and to rest in the stillness of this moment. But it certainly helps. It certainly helps to reduce the speed and volume of thoughts, to relax our bodies and be alert. Once that's there, so there's various ways to do that, and probably most of the people watching this conversation or part of it would already know some of these.